When I think about what makes a great zombies game, one of the first things that comes to my head is replayability, and I'm not just saying for the first month, 3 months, or even the year that the game is supposed to be getting active support. I'm talking about, is it going to be fun 5, 10, 15 years later? And that's not an unreasonable goal, because zombies has accomplished this before. I still think Black Ops 1, 2, 3, and Cold War are just as fun as they were during their years. I mean, hell, I'm still playing Black Ops 3 8 years later, and I'm still going to be playing Black Ops 2 10 years from now. It's always been a staple of these games that zombies, no matter what, is always complete. Even if you don't really like it, you're always going to get your main launch map and then at least 4 DLC maps. That's always how it's been ever since 2008. And yes, I know World at War had 3 DLCs, but that was just because they were trying to get the game off the ground. They didn't even know what they were doing. The whole thing was held together with thoughts and prayers. The reason that I mention this though is because I think that zombies has been moving in a little bit of a dangerous direction. There's been a lot of talk about live service games in the games industry over the last couple of years. A lot of people have genuinely grown to hate them, and if you don't know what live service means, it's sort of like Warzone, where you just have a game and then it constantly gets updated, and as long as the company is making money and as long as there's a lot of players, they'll keep updating it. This already started to seep into zombies a little bit with Cold War, where we went away from the DLC model and we went more towards the seasonal and updates model. Now, I'm not one of those people who says that we need to go back to the season pass model where I'm paying $60 for 4 maps. I'm not really a big fan of that. I actually kind of like getting the maps for free. I think it makes the whole thing more accessible to people who maybe don't have the extra money to spend. Where this has started to become a problem is with MW3 zombies, and I don't want it to continue in the future. As you guys know, a couple weeks ago it was leaked that they were going to stop updating the game as much as they have been in the past, and that's just because I guess there weren't really enough active players to keep updating it for their liking, which means that as of right now, Modern Warfare 3 Zombies is going to have had the least content of any zombies game ever. We haven't had really any big map updates, and sure, we did have the Dark Ether Rift zones, but I don't really count those because those are just Warzone reskins again. And there hasn't been that many significant changes to the game since launch, so now that it's always going to be like this forever, they're never going to go back to it after the year, and they're not going to do a Zombies Chronicles and completely overhaul the game. This is just going to be like this forever. I think that is setting a dangerous precedent, and honestly, you guys can tell me in the comments if you agree. If you don't agree, then that's okay too. This whole channel is just a discussion about things in zombies. I have ideas that come to my head every day, and I just want to talk to you guys about them. So leave that in the comments, and while you're down there, a like would be appreciated, and subscribe. We're getting really close to 3,000 subs. I think we only need like 40 more, which would be crazy if we could hit that today. To me, part of the beauty of zombies has always been that you're going to have the same experience on day 1 as you're going to have on day 1000. Zombies sure will get updates. Black Ops 3 is a great example. They had to change around a lot of the movement, they had to do a few visual updates, but not really too many. Largely though, you're going to have the same experience. You're not relying on them to keep updating the game just to get it to a semi-stable place, or one that's even fun to go back and play a couple years later. And that's because it was designed back then to have a ton of content on day 1 to keep you playing for the next couple of months. They weren't looking forward to see, hey, okay, what can we add in the Season 1 update? What about the Season 1 Reloaded? Season 2, Season 3? That didn't matter. All they had to do was just make new DLCs. With this live service model though, honestly it feels like it just gives Activision an excuse to say, okay, this game failed, let's not dump any more money into it than we have to. We're just going to be cheap as fuck. We're not going to try and fix the game or give people actually what they paid for even. We're just gonna stop giving it support already. Better luck next year, champ. Which is so painfully fucking stupid. If I pay $60 for a game, then I want $60 worth of content out of it. I don't want 20 bucks worth of content and then Activision to go, well, you know, it made $40 million. We were expecting it to make $43 million, so yeah, we're just not going to make content. And the general idea of the live service model is just trying to sell people on the fact that, oh, well, there might not be $60 worth of content on launch, but at some point there might be $60 worth of content if you wait a year and a half and there's a lot of people still playing. I just fundamentally don't agree with that sentiment. I think that zombies should be an experience where you're getting 60 bucks worth of zombies content throughout the entire year, if not on launch. The best example that I can make of this is that if Black Ops 2 had come out today and Transit and Die Rise had flopped the way that they did in 2012, Activision would have just said, screw it, we're not going to bother putting out Mob of the Dead, Buried, or Origins. They would just stop making content for it and moved on to Ghosts. I can understand this a little bit if you're a smaller studio who maybe is relying on that money coming in from those seasonal updates or trying to sell bundles to just keep the lights on in your studio, but They aren't. They're Activision. They're literally owned by Microsoft, and even before then, they were worth $69 billion. I just think that hardcore zombies fans deserve to have a completed experience. Even if you don't really love that experience fully, like let's say Black Ops 4, you may not love all the maps that came out with it, but hey, at least you're getting a full game. You're not going to buy it and then realize, oh, there's only one map, maybe there's 3 maps. It kind of could just fluctuate depending on the year with this live service bullshit. Because I know for myself and for so many others out there, we spend thousands of hours playing zombies over the years. We're going to keep playing it 5, 10, 15 years after it stopped getting support, because these games were good and we're passionate about them. That live service model just doesn't work because there's 2 parts to that phrase, live and service. Sure, it might be live, but if you're not getting any goddamn service, then what does it actually even matter? MW3 Zombies could have been really good. It had a lot of promise at launch, and I know I had a lot of fun with it for the first couple of weeks, but the zombies community doing what the zombies community does, they speed ran through all of the content, and then they found, well, hey, this would be really nice if we could get more of this to play, and then nope, they decided to drop it like a brick, so it's going to just be in this subpar state for the rest of time. And even though a few minutes ago I said I wasn't a big fan of the season pass model where I was paying for every one of the DLCs, I'd rather have that and be guaranteed a full year's worth of content if it means that I'm not going to be cucked midway through the year. Now, how is this going to work in 2024? Honestly, I'm not really sure. I do feel like Treyarch is going to try to give us 4 DLC maps and a launch map, but even then, we aren't really sure. What happens if 2024 comes out of the gate slow? Because that could either be because of the economy, or people just aren't really big on Warzone right now, so that negatively affects sales, or it could just be a knock-on effect from MW3 and MW2 not doing well. If that happens, then is it going to be a case where we don't get as many maps as we want? Is Treyarch going to have to hurry up their story, and are we not going to get a satisfying ending to the Dark Ether storyline? Are they going to have to cut out a bunch of stuff? There could be a lot of different circumstances if Call of Duty 2024 doesn't meet some arbitrary number that Activision or Microsoft comes up with. That's even why I said a couple days ago, it might just be our best bet to not entirely rely on Treyarch to make good games at this point, because there's just some stuff that's out of their control. I don't really think they want to do the live service games thing, but Activision and Microsoft decided, nope, you guys are going to do it and you have to follow along whether you like it or not, really. I've said this before and I will say it again, Warzone is one of the worst things that ever happened to zombies. Not just because like it took players away from zombies or anything like that, but mostly just because of the way the Warzone shifted the Call of Duty mentality. Now, I'm not trying to be entirely negative with this video. The reason that I'm concerned is because zombies is great. I love zombies. I want more zombies stuff to play. That's the entire point of saying this, is that I don't want them to continuously lower the amount of zombies that we get just because it doesn't meet some financial bar. I'm playing a Doctor Strange themed map in 2024 with these crazy wonder weapons and all this cool stuff. I really do love zombies. I just want there to be more of it, and I want zombies to continue to be consistently good so that more people can understand why we enjoy zombies. Not even just for those of us who really enjoy Black Ops 3 or the older games or whatever, but even for the people that really like the new games like MW3 Zombies. It's a shame. Imagine being a huge MW3 fan and then realizing that you're not going to get any more content and it's only like January. But I think that's enough of my boomer ranting for today. Like I said, this is a discussion. If you don't agree with me, then tell me in the comments. Just try to keep it civil. I'm always open to new ideas and I'm open to being wrong about stuff. That's just the beauty of these videos, is that hey, we can just talk about zombies because we enjoy it. And once again, make sure to like, subscribe. Let's try to get to 3K. That would be really cool. Hey, 14 days of uploads in a row is pretty cool on this channel. So thank you guys for watching all the videos. I really appreciate it. I love you. Goodbye.